so we're just going to start with just a little bit of movement. Knees can be bent, feet flat, and we're just going to do a small side-to-side rock with the knees. And then that rock can slowly start to become a little bit bigger. This is just really good to decompress the back, get the hips moving, lubricate some of the joints. Beautiful. And then let's bring both those knees up to the chest. You can grab on top of or underneath the knees, whichever works best for you. And then we'll do a little side-to-side rock here. Getting a nice little massage of the lower back into the mat. Danny always loves hanging out with me when I'm doing any kind of exercises or stretches, so it's really hard to shut him in the room because he calls at the door. Awesome. Let's let those legs go, everybody. We're going to gently tilt ourselves up, roll ourselves up. You can roll to the side, whatever. We're going to come to our hands and knees and do a little cat-cow for my yogis out there. Just letting the back arc down toward the floor, eyes come up, and rounding the back. We're just going to do this a couple times, and then we're going to get into our first stretch. Maybe one more time. Hey, Danny? Yeah, one more time. All right, first stretch we're going to do, we're going to take our right foot and we're going to step it forward to the outside of our right hand. So it's going to be a nice big step forward, tucking our left toes underneath. We're going to lift that knee up off the ground and kind of shimmy or slide our leg back toward the back of our mat. Then let that left knee drop back down to the ground. So we're in this nice deep lunge. And just let yourself drop down toward your mat. As long as there's no pinching in the crease of your hip or anything, it should feel like a really nice stretch in the front of this left hip and the back of the right hip. Oh my God, he's needy. Yeah, cutie. Beautiful. Let's tuck those left toes underneath. Lift that left knee up and just kind of walk it forward a little bit to get our knee underneath us again. Taking that right foot back, we're going to come back to our hands and knees. I'm going to turn myself so I'm facing forward just so you guys will be able to see what we're doing next. Because we want to be able to walk our knees off to the left side of the mat. So walking our knees off to the left and sitting right onto that right hip. And from here, we're going to actually scissor our feet a little bit, taking that right foot forward so that the bottom of the right foot's on top of the left. Both hands are going to come to either side of that front knee. And we're just going to let ourselves round down, bringing our chest down toward the knee. And it should get a nice little stretch kind of outside of the leg or in that glute. If you're already really mobile through here and you want to make it a little bit deeper, we just take this front foot a little bit more forward, hands back on the floor, and drop back down again. We're just going to hold. Even option to put the forearms on the ground. And breathe. Each stretch that we're holding here, we're holding for about a minute. We need about 60 to 90 seconds to have a really effective therapeutic stretch. All right, we're going to slowly walk back up onto our hands, sitting up nice and tall. And from here, we're just going to go into a little bit of a flowy twist. We're going to walk our hands to the right, turn and look over the right shoulder, and then come back to face forward, walking our hands back to the front. Just doing this to kind of ease ourselves into a twist. Walk, turn, twist until you feel a gentle stretch. And then come back to face forward. Last time, we're going to go back, we're going to turn, we're going to look, and as I'm looking, this is probably the deepest turn so far. I'm almost going to think of this left hip pushing forward as I'm turning and looking. And we're going to get a nice rotation in the lower back here through the rib cage, and maybe even a little bit of a stretch in the front of that left hip. All right, let's come back to untwist. We're gonna unpretzel ourselves here, taking our legs back together, knees back together, come up to hands and knees. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. If you need to kind of just stretch a leg back for a second, just lengthen out the legs, you can. And then we're gonna come to that big lunge on the other side. So this time it's the left foot, comes to the outside of the left hand. Okay, and we're gonna tuck those right toes underneath, lift that knee up, slide it back, and then drop the knee down toward the ground. And it's almost like you're sinking the front of your hips toward the floor. Again, no pinching, should just be a really, really good stretch. Perfect. We're going to tuck that right toe underneath, walk that right knee forward a little bit, take that left knee underneath us again, and we're gonna set up for that hurdler's pose on the other side. So again, I'm just turning toward you so you guys can see. I'm gonna walk my knees off to the right side of my mat and drop my left hip to the floor. Taking this left leg forward, so maybe the bottom of the foot comes to the top of the thigh. But if you know already you've got a lot of mobility in your hips, you can bring that leg forward a little bit more. Okay, you choose the angle there. But both hands are gonna come to either side of that knee. I'm turning my chest toward that knee, dropping my chest down, and maybe even coming to my forearms. Okay, but always, if forearms too far for you, you can be up on your hands. And as we breathe and as we relax, feeling yourself almost sinking a little bit deeper into that stretch. Perfect. Walking up onto your hands, coming into that little twisty flow here for a twist. So we're going to take both hands, we're going to walk it off to the left, and we're going to turn and look over our left shoulder to the wall behind us. Then walking our hands back to face forward, and then twisting, look behind us. Probably one more time. And as I'm twisting, remember I'm twisting over to my left. Right hip is kind of pushing forward a little bit as I'm doing that. And now we're going to hold. We're going to slowly untwist, unravel the legs, and let them swing out in front of us. So we have our legs out nice and long, out nice and wide as well. Kind of just facing anywhere where you can see me here. Okay. And sometimes if you have a cushion or a block with you sitting up on that, if you have trouble sitting up, just having that prop can sometimes help. So if you have something close by and you need it, grab it. But we are going to take our right hand to the inside of that shin. I'm going to turn my body to the left a little bit and then slide my hand down like I'm reaching for that ankle. And then this is a great place to stay, getting a little bit of an inner thigh, a little bit of lower back. If you want to go a little bit deeper, that left hand is going to reach up toward the ceiling. Maybe even that's enough to give you a little bit more of that lower back. Or reaching up and overhead like I'm trying to reach for those toes. Deep breaths, let the body relax. Let's let this left hand come through center. Let yourself round like you're reaching forward and slowly rise back up. Hands can be kickstands behind you. I almost knocked that over again. Feet are flat, and we're just going to do a little internal rotation rock side to side before we do the other side. Just helps decompress things a bit. Beautiful. Let's reset. Sitting up nice and tall, both legs out nice and wide. This time it's the left hand's coming to the inside of the left shin. I'm going to turn my body to the right slightly, and then act like I'm sliding my hand down, like I'm reaching to the inside of that shin or inside of the ankle. This might be enough.